Okay guys, so I wanted to give you an idea of what glazing looks like while you're painting. So I made this cute little doodle of a kitty cat, and I'm going to fill it in with some paint, and then we're going to do some glazing. Alright, so I've painted my little kitty this kind of warm yellow color, and I'm going to let it dry. Alright, so my first layer is dry, and now what I'm going to do is I created a little bit of a peach color, and I'm going to add that on top. Now, as I add this peach color on top, you're going to see a slight subtle difference in the yellow. What I'm trying to do is slightly change that yellow into a more vibrant, warmer orange color so that I'm showing a shading technique. Alright, that is my next layer. That's my glazing, and you probably have noticed, oh, that's not that different. Well, here's the thing. For this particular layer, I didn't want that huge of a difference. I want it to be more of a medium tone because I'm transitioning to a darker color as I get to the shadow. Glazing doesn't necessarily have to be stark. It can be very light, a thin transparent layer on top just to show blending or shading. And that's what, if you can really master glazing, that's what this exercise will help you to do along with your glazing chart. So now I'm going to be putting on my third layer of glazing. And this time the layer underneath, I'm allowing it to be a little bit wet so that it blossoms a little bit more with that orange technique. But the side area that's still light, that is dry, so it's not going to bleed. Okay, here's something else that I'm going to teach you about glazing. I have mixed up on my scrap sheet a color right here. And to be honest, this color in my head is way too bright. But let's say you're painting and you're like, oh, I think this is the color I want. And you decide to paint it down. Alright, let's say I paint this color and now I look at it and I'm like, oh my word, this is too bright. It's too purple. I didn't want this color. That's where glazing can help you. Alright, so I'm just going to let this dry. And normally by now you'd be like, oh, I gotta fix this, I gotta fix this, I gotta fix this. You can try and fix it right now, but just know that I can also fix this by glazing too. So, how do I fix this? What you need to do is look at your color chart. This is why it's so important to look at your color wheel. And notice my purple is here. I'm going to go directly across to my contrasting color, and this would tone down my purple. It would make it more of a neutral or a gray. So if I want to tone that purple down a little bit, I can just add a little bit of yellow to it. There are certain yellows though that you want to stay clear of, and that's the reason why your chart helps you, your glazing chart. So here's the color that I'm kind of mixing with the purple, and let's see, that has a nice tone to it. I like this one though better. It turns it more into an orange right there. So I know that this purple was put down first, so I'm going to look at my yellows that I have. I have 2 yellows. I'm going to look at them and see which one I liked better. This one's not bad. It kind of turned it more of an orange tone, but I like this one better. It's a little bit brighter of an orange. Okay, so I'm going to tone down. this purple, and I don't need a lot. Just a little bit of yellow, just to make it a little bit more warmer. And here, I want to show you just how watered. That's my color right there. So it's pretty watered down. Now I'm just going to paint that. She's barking at our neighbor outside. She sees our neighbor. I'm going to paint that right on top of this. And immediately you see it tones it down just slightly. And I like that a lot better. And in fact, I might even add a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do is add a little tiny bit of blue, and I'm checking it on my paper. I always check on my paper first to make sure I like it. But while it's still a little wet, I want to add some blue. I want to show you how watered down this blue is. It's pretty watered down. I want to add that right at the base because that's where your shadow would be darkest. And this is another glazing technique that I do, where I'm just trying to make something a little tiny bit darker where there would be a darker shadow. And because I'm glazing, you're not going to see a huge difference unless I make it a huge difference. And as you'll probably see, I'm getting little spiders up here. I don't really care about that right now because I can sweep those around a little bit. This isn't fully dry up here, which typically you don't want to paint next to wet paint, but I'm not too worried because I actually do want some of this color to bleed up, because whenever you're next to something that's a darker color, it is going to bleed up. So I'm not too worried about that here. That's why I didn't really care. And then to kind of make this look like he's sitting on a table of some sort, I'm going to pull kind of a yellow khaki color, but really water it down on my scratch paper. There. I kind of want that color. I'm going to add this kind of all around so that it kind of looks like he's sitting on some floor. Alright, and that's just a simple example of glazing. You can do a lot of corrections with glazing. You can make things darker or lighter with glazing. You're pretty much using glazing all the time in watercolor. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that this helps you. Thanks again.